Amadeus. Hi everyone, it's Joseph Wittnik from Trim Hunger, and you are about to be not only warm in your homes right now, which all of them should be,
Hopefully.
in your home. Yeah, put your shovel down, get your snowblower put away, not that you're on your phone. But as you are warm in your homes tonight, we are coming to you with the first annual Art for Hunger, and this is something so cool that you are a part of making, I want to say, history. It's never been done before.
Making a difference for sure.
Thank you. I love that. I first of all want to start off by saying that I want to say a big thank you to the venue that we're in. If any of you have ever been to the Outer Edge, it is a venue that is wedding related. I've been in here shooting videos with music. They do music videos in here. I've been here on fashion shows and etc. So I want to thank the Lisa and Ben King, and also
Amadeus, right?
Emmaus, yes. Oh, jeez. Please excuse me, Emmaus, don't come after me. But we thank you very much for allowing us to come in here this evening and actually raise some dollars to fill the shelves in some food pantries. I want to introduce you to not only a friend and a guest of mine for a long, long time, but someone that really supports everything that my wife and I do. And I can't say enough to thank my friend, as you may know from Fox 11, Michelle Melby.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. As you said, I'm Michelle Melby from Fox 11. So happy to be here and happy to be a part of this. I've been hearing about Trim Hunger for years, and it is a passion of both Joseph and Joy's, and it is such a cause that is in need of highlighting in our area. 1 in 7 adults in Wisconsin and 1 in 4 children in Wisconsin suffer from some sort of food insecurity, or they experience hunger. And it's something that we don't really think about, because most of us, so many of us, if we're hungry, we grab something to eat. And
Exactly.
It's hard to hear that there are people in every single community in Wisconsin that's just not their reality. And when the budgets are tight, truth be told, it's the grocery list that is the most flexible on your budget. You can't pay half a rent, but you can skip a meal. You can't pay for half of your prescriptions, but you can go without the most nutritious foods and maybe get something that is cheaper and not as healthy, not as filling. So that's an issue in our area, and that's something that we're going to try to be tackling and helping with today.
I love that. And Joy and I were notified way in the beginning of the COVID by local school districts to actually go out and help families that I had an eye-opener seeing what I saw. I mean, there are families out there that didn't have work and they didn't have money for food. So we were able to do that with the help of the dollars that you're actually donating to have an event like this. And then on top of it,
look at this beautiful art that we've got.
Your donation will be hung in your home or office, and you will be able to talk forever to all your friends on how big your heart is. Before Valentine's Day, they're doing this.
Exactly. It's a perfect little nugget that you can do something for yourself and do something for the community.
Yeah, so how did this all start? Well, believe it or not, I have been an artist in hair for 40 years. And
I love that, artist in hair.
Artist in hair. And I style people.
He did this.
I style, yeah. Which you look very great, as always.
Thank you. Well, so do you.
So what I would like to just say is, people that know me would say that I'm really not a talker and I'm really, really shy. So I have to kind of keep this down to simple. But in the last year, I have been watching the artwork of Pat Huss. And I was able to hound her down and have lunch with her. And this was right after, not that I need to bring this up, but I had an awful brain injury that happened in another country. And when I came back, I was at home wondering what is it I could do. And I contacted her and begged her to do FaceTime art classes with me. And she really thought it was a joke. And I said, no, I'm not really a joke. I really want to do this. She goes, people come to my classes for 5 days. I mean, how am I going to show you this on FaceTime? Trust me, Pat. Just get me the material and stick with me. Every single day. For over 7 months, I showed her the art, I showed her the art I was doing, and it was really, really, really cool, because she would never tell me what I was doing wrong. She would just say, well, could you add anything else to that to make it better, or do you love it? And the minute I said I loved it, she's like, sign it. Go to the next one. So we had this plan of creating nothing but artwork for this event only. So these paintings, they're not copied, they're all original, they all have purpose, they all have meaning, they're all gonna look good no matter where you put them, and I'm really serious. I want to give one more shout out. They have been in a gallery called The Marketplace in Greater Menasha.
Okay.
And thank you to Steve York and Kim Massey for allowing us to have all these art pieces that you're seeing tonight in that gallery.
So these are up on display that people can go check out, enjoy, and marvel at.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And it's going to be continuous. So the pieces that you're buying, bidding on to win, are all going to be pieces that are going to look good with you, and that's going to give us more purpose to create more of these, because I believe, Michelle, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Steve York, my buddy.
Yep.
We'll keep that gallery, the gallery for Trim Hunger, so other local artists can hang their things in there if they're willing to actually put part of it to help donate for food.
What a great idea. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Because the more people, the more eyes that are on it, that only helps.
Yeah. So let's start. Let's do some fun. Let's start. So get your pens, your paper, get on your phones, whatever you need to do, right? Debit cards.
Do they know how to bid?
They do know how to bid.
Okay.
If you're on Facebook.
We got to make sure that we tell them early and often how to bid.
That is true. And I want to make another announcement. If suddenly Michelle and I vanish because of the world of Wi-Fi,
right?
Then go to the YouTube channel, and we're on there live right now too. So we're on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube Live. And what did you just ask me though, and I forgot?
How they bid. How do you bid?
Oh, trimhunger.com. So if you go to trimhunger.com, it'll say bid now. Go in there. You can put in all of your information. It's all secure. Better World is working with us. And shout out to a huge Trim Hunger committee that has allowed all of that to happen.
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
If any of you have questions, you can comment on Facebook or YouTube. We have got a team that is backstage, and they will be answering your questions. And anything that's related to one of us, it'll be text to me on my phone. So if you see me on my phone, it's because I'm constantly being updated on what the bids are. Now, before we get started, do you know what?
Tell me. I was just going to say, I think we've already had some activity.
We have.
So that's
oh
wonderful.
My God. We haven't even started the auction yet, and we're at 5,100 something. You know what? I'm not going to say tag you're it, because that's awesome. But no, it's time to double.
I love it.
All right, so I want to start like this. So here you go. Here is this piece of art done by Pat.
Wow.
Pat, who I believe has a love. She's a true love for Trim Hunger. And believe me, she's been very active. This is Pat, my friend Pat Huss. How are you?
I'm just fine, and I love working with Trim Hunger. And you are a journey.
Pat is going to read you a little something about the purpose and meaning behind here and how she created it. Pat, go ahead.
All right, well, we thought we should have one staple that really meant something to Trim Hunger. So I thought, well, what are we going to do? And I meant, well, Trim Hunger, scissors, and with a stylus. So this painting is expressed through the orange and the red paint. It symbolizes the cry for food that sustains us, and it also raises awareness of the many people that go hungry every day. And so the abstract scissors symbolizes trimming hunger everywhere in the world. So put your bid out. We need you. We need your money for Trim Hunger.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And just so you're all aware, we've talked about this, and we're staying as distant as possible, but we wanted you to get our full expression, so just know that we're all safe. And this particular painting, I believe, as you can see, it started off at $2,000.
Wow.
And I do believe that, yes, I know who you are, has already bid at $2,000. So come on, someone else, you can outbid that. This, I think, would look really...
I love though, just listening to her. Like, I can look at it now, and you can see the scissors, you can see the handles, and you can see, you know, in those darker colors, that what you were saying, that cry out, that, you know, the cry out, that there's some pain in when you're hungry. There's some stigma that you feel, even though
feel it,
you probably
know it.
shouldn't.
And the title is Sheer Madness. And so
I can see that too.
And all the proceeds tonight go to Trim Hunger. Every penny.
Every penny goes to Trim
That's
Hunger.
Cool.
That is fantastic. That is so cool. So cool, Pat.
All right, thank you.
Hey, okay, hold on, Pat. One more thing. When you make a piece like this, how do you start? Did this come to you? Do you just start and it forms? Do you have an idea?
This started after Joe and I talked, and we thought this would be a good idea. Then I slept on it, and of course, all night long, things are
thinking
going through
about
my
it.
head. And then I went, scissors. He's a stylist. It's a scissors. We're trimming hunger. What better way? But let's abstract it. So that's how that started. And then, of course, the orange and the red for the demand, and Trim Hunger is orange, so that's what really...
And it's a piece that you can kind of look at and just look at for a while, and just kind of, you know, let yourself feel it.
It was actually so cool that we commissioned a designer
look at this.
in Denver, and if you can see this scarf, it replicates the painting.
Yeah, look at that.
See that? Now, these scarves are very, very few. And they're now at the marketplace in Menasha. And you'll call Kim, get one on hold. They're $90 donation, and that will go to Trim Hunger.
Beautiful.
And can you hold this a minute? Michelle forgot to get thoroughly dressed.
Put it on,
We must
babe.
dress her.
Yeah, I think so.
Love it.
There. Voila!
It is amazing how it is. It just is. It's fantastic.
Yep, it's great. And I want to also go right to, that looks awesome.
Right?
Thanks, Pat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Pat did one with hers. This is actually one of my first paintings, and it's I don't know how close that they can zoom up on it, but within this painting is the word love. So this is titled Hidden Love. And what I decided is that was one of my favorites to do, to actually have this particular scarf made. So this too, only you can get it at the marketplace. They're $90 donation. And if they're sold out, we can get more. It just takes 7 to 10 days to get them.
What a great idea, though, having the art form transformed on it's wearable art. Right?
So yeah, it is. It really is. And for those of you that have been on the Facebook page, I want, and that maybe saw Mateus from Author's Kitchen made an appetizer. He was amazing. That was yummy. Hard for me to film him in the kitchen because that smelled good. So we're going to go over here because this is Kaylin from Author's Kitchen. And we did commission Kaylin to kind of create a drink so that any of you at home that wanted to make this with her could. So the ingredients were posted about a week ago. And we have Kaylin here right now. Hello there, cutie patootie.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
And why don't you just go?
I think we need to get drinks in your hands because this is a celebration.
I knew I liked her.
Yes. All right. So we were inspired by the color orange, just being the color of hunger.
Yes.
And I guess I just wanted to mention too, I've got 2 really close family friends that I know used sources in the area. So this kind of hit home for me too, because I see them getting their food deliveries, and it's important. Like, I think it goes under the radar. So I'm really happy that we could participate in this with the appetizer and this awesome drink, and hopefully there's some bidding on our item as well. So let's get going so we can get some drinks in your hands.
We're talking about your item later.
Okay, very cool. So we got our mixer cups here. We're gonna start with this really neat Melby blood orange gin, obviously inspired by the orange here. I'm gonna do a double batch for you two.
I really like her.
So we're gonna do, normally it would just be 1.5 ounces, but I'm gonna do 2 of those. So 1.5.
See?
Of the
You're at
gin.
home, you're all warm and fuzzy, just keep
Yep.
pouring.
All right.
Right?
Then we are moving on to fresh squeezed lemon juice. We're gonna do 3/4 ounces of that. Double batch here, 1 for Joseph, 1 for Michelle. So we're gonna do 2 of those into the shaker with this neat jigger.
Love this.
Yum.
Love this. Now, what's next? Exactly.
This is simple syrup, so this is sugar water, basically. So it is 1 equal parts. So a cup of water, cup of sugar, boil it, and then get it to a nice liquid here. We're gonna do 1 ounce of that. So double that for the cocktails here.
Doesn't it make you just want to smile?
I already am smiling. I'm like right over it going, ooh, what next?
We're gonna give it a good shake. Get it nice and icy. Good icy border on there. All right. It's kind of a pink color, even though the gin is the blood orange gin. So we're gonna do about half in each of the glasses. It's really beautiful and delicious. It's an Italian blood orange gin. I'm not 100% sure what stores carry it, but if anyone's interested, I'm sure an easy Google search would get you there. And then lastly, we're gonna actually float, I have a Spanish blend with me. I do like using a Cabernet, so I have a Cabernet as well, but we're gonna float the wine on the top here, and it's really just gonna make it look gorgeous. And
Oh my gosh.
I know. I can't even stand it.
the flavors work really, really well with that citrus. Citrus is in season right now as well, so not only having the orange for Trim Hunger, but just the inspiration for this whole event and being seasonal. I think it's really cute to do a little orange slice here. You don't have to if you don't want to. And you can always like sub in materials or ingredients that you may not have. Like if you don't have this, you can still have a lot of fun with simple syrup. Fresh lemon juice is beautiful. So just being creative when you're making cocktails and getting inspiration from the things that you have, because you don't always have these things at home.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes.
Fabulous. Oh my goodness. Okay, yes. I
Oh,
absolutely
my
am taste
Lord.
testing this bad boy.
All right,
How
children.
pretty. Look at that. I love how she said the
don't
wine
look.
was just going to
Thank you so
dance
much.
on top. Yes, thank you for everything.
And Trim Hunger
cheers.
thanks you.
Yes.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Let's give it a shot.
Oh my gosh, delish.
That's not
To
a drink.
die for. It's so good.
Oh my God, that's like
a little
sangria.
s-
You can't stop.
It's a little
My
slice
wife,
of heaven.
Joy, would totally dig this.
Nate, you
This is
wouldn't.
good.
I'll have it all. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Nate, state designated driver.
Nate wouldn't like it. I'll just,
All right,
I'll
so
keep-
we're
what do we got?
gonna
What are we
we're
doing
gonna
next?
start talking about the art now.
Okay.
So as much in order as we could, this would be picture
Starting
number
here?
1.
Where are we starting here?
We're starting right here.
Okay.
And this is one of mine, and it's called Fashion. And you know what? This right here, Michelle, if you look really close, I'm not sure how Jess or Dallas, which thank you guys, can zoom into this picture, but everything that's in here has something to do with me. From face, makeup, hair, clothing, models. This is one of my all-time, they're all my favorite, but this is truly one of my all-time favorites. And just so you know, intuitionally, painting is what this is, Pat always says I do. None of it's planned, really. as you begin to layer layers and layers and layers and layers of paint.
So yeah, that's what I asked her. So when you are doing this, do you know where you're going, or are
No.
you just kind of
No,
you just get there when you get there?
It's almost creepy how you know, like you can get in a mood and just keep adding colors together. And of course, in my world, if your hair is too yellow, I would correct it with purple. Because you know, right now with all the grays being hot, you use the purple to correct the yellow. But in painting, what's interesting is you don't use the corrective color, then you look at the color that would correct purple.
So does
And
that
if
mess with
that's
your mind? That you're
green-
like, I'm painting, I'm not
Yes,
painting
yes,
hair
yes.
color. That messes with my,
The way I color your hair is way different than what I normally would have a year ago. But yeah, this one is called Fashion. I know the
Nice.
bidding has gone quite crazy on this one. I'm not sure where it is right now, but you can see it's an 8 and
I just heard in our background, yes,
Yep.
the bidding's going crazy
You're
on
going to
it.
see another one come up that was actually painted at the
cool.
same time I painted this one. But for right now, this one I love. This is truly one of my favorites.
Is there a title?
Yes,
What is
Fashion
fashion?
under fashion. Remember that song?
I do.
All right, then we're
Pressure.
going to move to this little guy. Which one? Oh, number 2.
Here, I can hold.
This is
Can
great.
I hold?
want you to hold number 2 and number 3. Do you have that?
I do.
All right, let's see if we can get Canyon Glow. It says on the back, Canyon Glow. This is Pat Huss. She did these. And Dallas, are we in a good spot right here? Okay. So here is an amazing example of layers and layers and layers of paint. Now, this is oil paint and cold wax. Stick around because Pat's going to show you what that looks like in just a little bit. But when you mix the two of them together, it creates a medium that is very buttery. And it alleviates a lot of shine because oil is very shiny. And the history of cold wax, for your information, is way back when in the Rembrandts used to paint oil on canvas, it would crack. So a lot of these paintings that you see are going to come out that are painted on board is where they later turned to. We're painting on these huge panel boards, which didn't warp and didn't crack, and they added wax to it to actually give it an amazing blend. And the coolness of it that I've been taught is the more texture that you can add by scratching. There's so many different ways. Like all the things that Joy throws away now in the kitchen, you know, like
You
the
pick
scrub,
back up?
like the scrub brush for the dishes. I take it out of the garbage and I start using it in the back room on some of my paintings that you're going to see. But these two, you know, are beautiful. Go ahead and bid on them. And if you need any of these brought back, comment below. As I said, I'll get it on my phone and we can go from there. But these two right here, I would like to see them in a set. And they started off at 200, and I believe there were 200 for each.
Yes.
And let's see that way much higher. I know that there's bidders out there that are going to bid on those. So that's number 2 and 3. Here we have this right here. Actually, I cannot remember all of my. This is called Sky. This was done on paper. Okay. This was done on paper, and this
Oh,
was
that's beautiful.
these are my forefronts. Like this was one of the first, maybe the third painting that I did. It was on paper, a special Archer's paper, and you know I started really experimenting with a lot of sprinkles of dust of color, and then scratching that away. I want to do a shout out too to the Avenue Art. They did all the framing.
I was just going to say the
Yeah.
framing here matches it's so complementary. Like the colors just like pop off. That is so pretty.
You gotta love the
and
Karens.
the detail in here.
Yeah, this is really nice. So, like I said, it's Sky. It's what my vision is. You know, I used to fly a lot, before we couldn't. And I always was fascinated by what the sky looked like as you were flying.
It's like stars dancing too here in this little area.
Yeah.
Wait
don't you see Stardust?
Oh, I can't
It's
wait.
the epitome.
I can't wait.
So here we have that, and then we'll move to this little guy. Thank you, Sue. No.
Oh, it's okay. You can
Sue is
be.
shy.
Am I taking this off? Okay. Okay.
All right, let me talk to you a little bit about underwater too. I know there's a couple of my clients that really, really enjoyed my underwater series because of the greens and the blues and the whites. And I have a friend, you know, many of you may not know this, but right now we've got people that are watching this from Lima.
From Lima?
From Spain, Miami, California.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We've got an international audience here.
And an artist friend of mine who's a really good friend from Oxford, England.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that is so fan. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love it.
So I love this. You know what? I just get inspired sometimes. I
Look
wake
at
up and I
this.
want to see certain colors. The one thing that you want to look for in my paintings personally is I never really liked my name on the front. I thought that would be kind of weird, just personally.
Okay.
So I started doing symbols, like 3 of something.
Okay.
So if you look at
So is
this
that
one,
this 3 right here?
There's 3 symbols here, and 3 little symbols there,
3
and
right
that's
there.
my signature. So on
3
the
and
day
3.
that I'm taken away, right, to another place, and people have my art, they'll know that it's an original Joseph if it has some type of hidden symbols.
Well, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. What's the name of this one?
Underwater.
Underwater. It looks
Yep.
it.
Underwater, here it is. $250 is an opening bid. But you know, remember when I say this to you that a lot of this art in a gallery would be ×2 or ×3.
×2 or 3.
Yeah. So this was really done more for the purpose of Art for Hunger, to give everyone an opportunity to be able to bid on them.
And again, every single dollar that we're raising tonight with all of this beautiful artwork is going to food pantries in the area. Food insecurity is a real thing, and we're trying to take a bite out of it tonight.
This is cool, isn't it? It almost, look at Pat and I almost had the same day.
Yeah. Look at that. Very similar.
I never noticed that, Pat.
Well, the same colors.
This is
Or
called
at least very similar.
Transformation.
Transformation.
And the starting bid is 70. And are you kidding me?
Steel, it's beautiful.
That needs to go up a little bit. But you can see the size is a little bit more actual when you see it next to Michelle and I. So this is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Love it.
Beautiful
And
frame.
I want to do a shout out right to Foxley's. Did Foxley's in Appleton did her framing, donated her framing in her
and this
matting.
is beautiful as well.
So it's really cool.
Gorgeous frame.
Michelle, I want to actually tell you also
tell me.
that we have experiences as well. So there are 3 experiences that we have to actually, well, that are being bid
They're
on
being
right now.
bid on right now.
Yeah, and one of them is a brunch at
Where?
Kaylin's joint.
Are we walking over
Yeah.
to Kaylin? Kaylin's joint.
Talk to Kaylin a little bit.
Kaylin, you got to tell us about this brunch.
Author's Brunch. You want to fill them in, Kaylin?
Yes, so our experience is going to be a beautiful brunch for you with some lovely champagne cocktails, or whatever you want. We'll wine and dine you. We just changed our hours. We were doing dinner, and now we're doing brunch and lunch. We made a decision
Okay.
to spend more time with our families. So our hours have changed, but we're still making delicious food and cocktails. So that experience will be super fun for anyone who wants to get out, is ready to get out of the house for a little bit, and enjoy themselves with some awesome, wonderful food. So.
And who isn't, with everything that's going on, who isn't ready for something like that? For people that don't know, tell me the name of your place and where it's located.
We're Author's Kitchen and Bar. We're located at 125 East College Avenue here in downtown Appleton, just like 3 blocks away from where we are right now. And it's our second location. We had a fire almost 2 years ago now. So it's been a rocky road, but we're here and happy to be invited to events like this to do what we can for the community.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to have you back. Great to have you here. Tell me, what's maybe the top 3? What are you guys known for? What's a good thing to have when we stop by?
That's really tough. let's see here. I had a table today and I was like, oh, I suggest all of this. And I realized I suggested 10 different dishes.
Well, that's good.
I know. We did brunch at our old place before we burned down. And so this is sort of a rebirth of brunch. So I think we do really great kind of Benedict style, eggs Parisienne, eggs Florentine. We have a great sausage and biscuits with gravy. That's always a great dish. And then we also have some of our dinner classics. So people looking for lunch, you're not totally locked into having a brunch item.
Nice, nice. I got a thumbs up from my husband there because Benedict is his favorite. So he's like, yes, tell me more. Well, fantastic. And again, we've got that experience. Tell me one more time about that experience.
Yep, so it'll be, we're kind of calling it like a champagne brunch. We'll hope to wine and dine you with delicious food. And honestly, we can tailor it to what the person likes. If there's something that they really love, we're open to suggestions. The chefs love to be creative, and we like to be creative with cocktails as well. So really...
This would be a great brunch drink.
Yeah.
This is a great drink any time of the day.
Yeah, so we'll hope to see whoever wins in, and for a great experience, a great meal, and just to get out and feel kind of normal for a little bit after all this. So
I know, I love it. Kaylin, thank you so much for being here and talking about that. That's one of the great experiences that we have, and that is going to be making a difference here tonight.
Yep, we always kind of have to keep things fun. And
yes.
I love the I'm deep involved in their family.
Oh.
In hair.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I am. So you know what? We have a couple more pieces, and then I want to show you something that is just so random that it barely made it to the auction.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was scarfed.
Okay.
It was just gone.
It's gone.
Yep.
Okay.
And I don't think the individual that actually bid on it at top bid and over would actually work with anybody to change her mind. She's been very, very, don't touch my bowl.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch my orb. All right, here's an individual. Look at this. Could you imagine who did this? I wonder. Here we have...
1, 2, 3, there's a clue. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more obvious, but I love, again, this was all done with starting in the background with a black pencil, and you scribble all over the background first before you paint on it. Then you layer over the top of that. And as you start to scratch away the paint, your background you can expose as much as possible, to where you're feeling.
Yeah.
So when it starts to look good, and Pat has always told me, stay away from the center. Because everything in nature is not even. Mm-hmm. So you have to kind of be a little bit more
And
uneven.
don't you think our tendency is to go right to the center? I'm like, that's right where I'd go.
Those are not here
Pat,
right now, Michelle. They did not make it. They did not make the cut. So anyway, this particular painting is called Underwater 1. Right now it's up to 200. It could be up to more.
Nice.
Again, I keep getting really amazing texts. This is working, you guys. It really is. I am so, I will not get emotional maybe on the end. But
Maybe
you know
you will.
what? This is amazing because I've talked to people like Loaves and Fishes and stuff like that. I already know where we're going with this to help people, and you are helping as well. I can drive the car there. I just need you to help me fill the trunk, right? And you're all doing a great job because right now we have just reached, we're almost near 6. So
Awesome.
Keep going. Keep going.
We appreciate it.
Keep it going.
Oh, look at this fun one.
All right, yes, this.
It's a fun little number.
This was inspired by my beautiful little granddaughter, Isla.
Oh.
I tell her stories about this little troll. This is titled Troll. And I tell her stories about this little troll that lives at the end of the bridge. And the bridge is kind of red and it's protective. And the village grows like broccoli and asparagus. And, this is kind of her helping me. I mean, she actually sat down. Some of you might have seen her painting with me on Facebook, but this was inspired by her. And, it was the story that was told during it. And this, I like it. It's different for me. It's bolder, it's stronger.
It's bold. It's got some strong colors and shapes to it, and they just jump out at you.
It would look great on a wall that just needs to be by itself.
Yep.
Same as like the Trim Hunger one, actually. This is
yes.
what's interesting.
Well, this
Look,
one's
I've got
gorgeous.
a buddy of mine. Dean actually took care of all of the hanging of the art in the gallery.
Wow.
Crazy cool guy.
Thanks, Dean.
His name
You're
is
awesome.
Dean Whiteoven. And he makes these orbs.
This is phenomenal.
It
I have
is
to get back
phenomenal.
here. This is
And
phenomenal.
I know,
So cool.
I know that when you walk in, the first thing that you see at the marketplace are these orbs. So I said, Dean, see what it looks like. It's made out of, oh God, he's gonna hate me. I think it's cement, actually. It's some kind of a plaster. But they're so cool. You know, it almost looks like a dinosaur egg, doesn't it?
It does. That's a great, because look, the outside is kind of, you're not sure what, so this greenish, grayish thing, and then inside is just this burst of beautiful color.
Asked him what his favorite color was, and he said aqua, and then I thought, well, do you mind if I take this home and play around with some cold wax in there? So what I did
Yeah, there we go.
was I actually, it was very smooth. I laid down a bunch of tissue paper and waxed it in, and then just started painting it so that it would have a lot of texture. And this one is gone ready to the highest bidder.
This is?
It
Oh,
is.
you got a great deal, because this is seriously amazing and beautiful and pretty and all of
I
those
know.
things.
And you
so
know-
interesting. I mean, I could look at this forever.
You can see these orbs at the marketplace in Greater Menasha.
Nice. In Greater Menasha.
Soon-
It's worth the trip. It's worth the trip to
Yep.
see these.
Soon to be the West Village of this area. Just thought I'd say that, because it probably could be.
Could be.
The way things are going.
Oh, I love this.
The way things are going.
I love this.
Yes, so remember, if anybody on my team out there, Phil, if you could shoot me a text on what we got Trim Hunger going at. I believe that Steve, let me know if you're kind of working on that or not. But we'll move over to this one right now, and then we'll talk about another experience.
Look at this. This
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Yes, it is, Rachel Monick.
What?
She wanted it.
She did? Oh, well,
But
too
she's
bad. No,
far
I'm just
away.
kidding.
She's far away
Rachel,
right
is
now.
she bidding? Is she bidding on it?
Somewhere in Marquette, I think.
Rachel, come on, girl. You got to get this, baby.
Yep.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, Pat Haas. You know, the one thing about Pat's work that drew me is if you look close enough, what happens when you're doing this painting, you begin to see things. She sees a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look in here, what do you say? Kind of like a person,
This looks like a person. This looks like
Yep.
a person. Even over here.
She's a master. A lot of her work is in Door
And
County
even
galleries.
this whole thing right here at the light part could
Yeah.
be. Like
Like
here's
a
the hair
waterfall
dripping
or something,
down.
couldn't it? And the opening bid is $865, and I would like that to go at least.
Oh, that is beautiful.
What do you think? Higher,
Higher.
Yep. So this one is
Awakening.
18. It's 18 by 24. So it's 18 inches by 24 inches, and always mostly the width is 2 inches. In order for it to be gallery worthy, it has to be 2 inches and not much less, if I
This-
remember correctly.
Bravo.
Is that not true?
This is fantastic.
Yeah, this is cool.
I love all of those colors too. I love them.
See, could you imagine that in a jacket?
Yep. I could imagine that just about anywhere. It is. It's so pretty, right?
Yeah,
So
it is.
pretty.
I really, really like it. Remember, if any of you have comments or questions for us, just comment below on the Facebook. I believe you can comment in the YouTube as well. But just shout out. Let us know. You know, let us know. So this is one of mine. This was created at the same time as fashion.
Okay.
So I know there's been a little bit of bid war going on it.
Fashion had a little bit of activity, so this one may as well.
Yeah, I believe that there's an out-of-towner that I won't mention because I think she could be watching, but she was, should they...
Keep it up.
Should they, yeah, should they be together?
Oh, they should be together.
And
Hello.
I said, well, I painted them together.
You painted them together, you got to keep them together.
I think they should stay together, or at least in the same household.
Yes.
You know, bedroom, living room.
Bedroom, living room, kitchen, dining room.
Exactly. They don't have to be together, but they can be together. And
True.
another thing, obvious symbols
nice.
of Joseph, you can see in there, the 3.
Right here.
And I called it street lamps. Because, you know, as I was drawing and painting and finishing, it looked like kind of a street lamp shining on these 3 women that are walking down this alley and their shadows. And I love this. This, too, is done on paper. And the size is 8.5 by 11.5. And again, a lot of times, Michelle, these colors don't always go together in hair color. But they work extremely awesome when it comes to
They work
painting.
on the canvas.
Yeah,
Yep.
when it comes to painting.
Yeah, this looks so neat. And it does look just like one of those lights in one of those,
Yeah, I like it.
you know, gray evenings.
I don't want to keep saying I like it. I enjoy painting right now. I enjoy the finished result. And I still shock myself a bit because, you know, I just do, you know, and having Pat as a coach, if I ever get like writer's block, I just hit her up. And you know what? One of the biggest
She
tricks,
lights that fire.
One of the biggest tricks that she's always told me is take a picture of it. After you rotate it, take a picture of it in black and white.
Really? And why is that?
Because you can tell vacant space.
Okay.
And you can tell where things need to be added and maybe they're too heavy and you can take it away.
That
So,
is very cool.
I know. She's
it.
like Luke Skywalker had Yoda.
Wait a minute. Are you Luke Skywalker in this scenario then?
I think so. Because she would be my Yoda.
Yes.
In a
She's
great,
the master,
great way. Yes.
the master painter.
She is a master. And I love this one. And now look here.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so
Wow.
a little unique of the size of this is 24 by 30. I love this. This goes best on a window of light or where light shines in. I will explain to you. One of the things that I was coached to do is not get too much involved in wanting to buy everything that oil and cold wax has for you to play with.
Okay.
In other words, stay simple, Joseph, when you're first learning. But I couldn't. I was out of control.
I was going to say that would be tough for you.
It was. So I bought these, Pat, what would you call them? They're like powder dust, like paint dust. Yep.
Paint pastels.
Yep. And what I did, they come in a little container. It's like dust. And I painted my whole background. And I do have to say that you have to gesso on here at least 2 coats before you can start painting. And my gesso master is Joy.
Okay.
I don't like to gesso. She will gesso
Joy
for me.
will gesso.
Yeah.
Okay,
If she
Joy's the
gessos my boards, it's a great day. Just saying. So anyway, this one was gessoed with a dark background. And just to see what would happen, because sometimes I go real easy with using my product, I blasted it with all of these different colors of dust. And it was leaned on
And
about
there's even like some shimmering ones here.
Yep, the dust is somewhat sparkly.
Yep.
And then you take like an almond oil or an oil, and I have a mister, and you just mist this heavily. And you know what'll happen? It starts to just drip.
Starts to run.
And this is the after effects of that particular technique. And for an accent, I put my little, yes.
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
I know, I'm sensing, I see the
My little-
pattern.
yeah.
I think I could find your artwork anywhere, Joseph. I think I could.
Are you noticing how I'm shrinking down my 1, 2, 3s? They went from big 1, 2, 3s to like a little smaller.
Well, you could say that this is 1, 2, 3 right there. That's a bigger one.
I really, this is a favorite. This is a favorite. But like I said,
this
this
is
would
one
be
of mine,
great
too.
on a wall with light because it shimmers when you walk by it.
It's a statement piece for sure.
It's really, really cool. And the starting bid, I believe, is $1,500. And I'm not quite sure where we are with that right now, but just remember, if you contemplate, all of this stuff's gonna be back in Menasha at the marketplace.
At the marketplace,
Yep.
where anybody can go and see it and take it in. And can they still buy it from there if it's hanging up?
They can if it isn't taken.
If it isn't taken,
Everything,
okay.
when you're notified that your bid won, then what you would do is you would either go to Menasha to the marketplace to pick it up, or you would actually, if you're Lima, we'll ship it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know that Lima or Spain or England can just hop over to Menasha so easily, but all right, we'll ship it to you guys.
All right, so how are we doing?
Beautiful, beautiful piece here. What was the name of this one again?
Stardust.
Stardust. Stardust.
Yeah, Stardust.
I love the glittery
I love
quality and
Stardust.
all of those colors and just some shimmer.
Yep.
Very pretty.
Yep. So let's talk about another experience.
Okay.
So this particular experience, I don't even know where to begin with.
All right, well, tell me about it.
Our really good friends that are, they have this amazing home. And it's in one of the oldest buildings on College Avenue.
Ooh, I'm
And
intrigued already.
I'm going to pretend, I know a lot about it, but I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know all the history.
Okay.
But it's been around very, very long. I'm not going to mention last names, but Lisa and Ben actually purchased this building. They're very involved, as this building here was owned by them before they recently sold it. They were very, very active in Mile of Music.
Okay.
And this was one of the venues. The Gibson building was also one of the venues. And I'm sure without COVID, they would have turned it into more of a venue. But they took the upper level of this building,
And made it their home?
not just their home. Am I ever
Their
at a
paradise?
Oh my God.
Their
Lisa-
escape?
When Lisa and Ben invited me to come over to talk about this, I've been around. I've seen many beautiful homes, need I say, which means nothing. But when the door opened and there was my cute little friend Lisa, I couldn't move. Honestly, I'm not
Wow.
joking. It was like stunning. So long story short, they are offering their home for a dinner for 6
Oh my goodness.
with a meal for all of you, not just a meal, cooked by who knows who they're going to bring in.
Some fancy schmancy.
Yeah, you know
great
what?
tasting, great
I mean,
food.
if Lisa put a little cook hat on and Ben had an apron, the
That would be
meal's
worth
gonna
it.
go. Yeah, the meal's going to be good. And they have a wine selection that I don't need to talk to you about that. So the cocktails, the wine selection, the living space.
all gonna be to the
that's
nines.
all included. And I believe that particular
Experience.
started off at $250, but it's now up to, I believe, $1,250 or $1,500.
Okay.
And I
Yep, I'm
want
getting nods from the
It
background.
is, and I have a feeling that that you need to look at that because, honest to God, that is an experience. And I would
Sounds
say
like a
it's-
once in a lifetime
Shoot,
thing here.
are you kidding me?
Right? Sounds like it's a once in a lifetime thing here.
God,
And you've got the food, you've got the venue, you've got great company.
Yeah, get out there and bid on that because listen to me, for them to open up their home, there's another big couple hearts, right?
Absolutely.
Love those guys. I love them. I wish I could put them right into my pocket and just always have them here. All right, so
Okay, here we
now
go.
we move to this, happiness. Happiness.
Looks happy.
Joy and I are involved in, and this is not a plug for a product line I'm working with on developing.
Okay.
But the area it's being developed was Miami, Ocean, And every time I would Zoom with my business partner down there, this is what I saw. I saw these beautiful colors and hardly any, I mean, this is the inspiration of the mood it put me in when I was always on those Zoom calls. And it's an array of colors.
Kind of Floridian.
It's an array of colors. And once you have a lot of paint down, Michelle, there is this liquid that you squirt out of like a needle-like bottle. And if you just move your hand around as you're squirting, after about a minute, you wipe it away with this squeegee, and what's left behind are the background remnants of the paint that you've used first, like all the blues. And orange to me is
And
trim
it doesn't
hunger.
streak when
No,
you do that?
It doesn't.
Cool.
It doesn't. It all goes away, and what's left is only where you put
Where you hit it that
the
first time.
remover.
Okay.
And as Kaylin said, orange is the color of hunger, hence the shoes. Because the very first Trim Hunger event was in New York City, and Joy saw these shoes and said, you need to get them to wear to the event. So
Oh, see?
hence the orange. Yep.
I like it when people say you have to get those
Yeah,
shoes.
right.
Right?
I
like
know.
it when
I
they say
couldn't believe what
you
she was
have
like,
to get those
You need
shoes.
to get those shoes.
I don't
It
know that
makes
I've ever
sense.
heard that. No, I'm just kidding, Nate.
So yes, this one's called Mood, and it has a starting bid of $1,200.
And it's a good
It
sized
is-
piece.
Yep, it's 24 by 24, and it's 2 inches wide.
Both of
And
these actually are
yep,
good-sized
and I want to
pieces.
show you what the back of this looks like, because these are all painted on a cradle board. Yeah, which ends up being like a
turn
wood
it?
panel, right? And believe me, I've also learned that these particular panel boards are really hard to get. And you have to be really particular because very few people make them. Some are rough, some are smooth. But typically, it's 2 inches, and that is what we have here. This one's called Mood. So
Mood.
join
Love it.
in, join in. Pat, could you please come up here and visit us, please?
She's coming. I'll help you right here.
This gets a lot of attention, you guys. And again, I'm going to say something to you. When you see a painting like this with oil and cold wax, very rarely when you paint with intuition do you plan what the result is going to be, right? So many will say, it looks like a town. It looks like a town in Israel. It looks like, and you know what? It does.
And it does. And it wasn't meant to be in the beginning, but after, this probably has 30 layers on. And all of a sudden I stepped back and I went, this looks like an ancient city in the early morning. And so then I kind of enhanced that a little bit. But as you can see, there's a lot of texture going on around here. And so that's sort of what I did. And, you know.
And when you find that or you see that, how does that process work? Do you try to, do you know what you're going to use for texture? Do you know where you're going to put that light?
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, I'll just put some different paints down and do different textures that are really pleasing to me. And as you can see up here, this is sort of like my canyon mist and all this texture that goes on. And so that's how I started out. And then I needed to put some more, a different color on there. So I took a complementary color and started moving it around. And then I sit back and then I sit and look at it, and sometime for a half hour, and all of a sudden I'll go, oh, this is it. This is it. And so that's what happened here. And then I just enhance it and bring out so that I can bring
It is
out
crazy. I love it. It's so cool, right? Pat, this is framed differently. So I don't know if you can get this, you guys, but
This
you
is
can
called
see.
a cradle panel.
Right, and it's floating in there.
It's sitting inside of the frame.
She's always
You can
got
see
it.
that. It's very
She's always
cool.
got
It's
it.
very cool. It's not all the way to the edge. There's almost like just a gap in between. Just a gap in between. And that texture on what I guess would be the sky. How did you do that?
Well, and that, again, there's probably 50 layers on here, but as you can see this little texture in here, sometime if I put the paint on top of the other paint, that is wet, then I'll take tissue paper and crumple it up and take my brayer and roll over it, and I can show you that over there when I demonstrate.
And that's what that creates.
It's that, yes.
Yep. And just hold on, you guys, because coming up, Pat's just going to show you very, very briefly how this is all done so that you know that
Very
the paintings
briefly.
that you are getting, you've seen it done by the person that is the master in it. So this is really, really cool. Stick up here because this is another one of yours,
Oh, yes.
right? This is dramatic. Into the darkness, light.
Light. And actually, if you look at this is 2 panels,
Yeah, show them that.
but I have them bolted together because I thought they needed to be together. But in the beginning, I did not start out that way. But here again, it looks like there's only a few layers on here, but there are many, many layers on here to get the effect. And here again, this is sort of like my canyon, and I have this spiritual thing going on in my head most of the time. And so then I put a person here, and I went, oh, no, that is too obvious. So no, let's get rid of that. So then I just create balance and texture just to get it to look cohesively right. And
I have an
into my eye.
emergency.
So that's where that
I
one.
have to interrupt you
Looks
to
beautiful. Yes.
hold this 1 second, please.
No problem.
We are having a massive bid on this little
On this
bugger.
piece?
Yep. So
All right.
I believe it's called Winter Solstice, or what was that called?
Or here, I'm going to hold it.
It's on the back.
Winter silence.
Winter Silence, everyone. So
I can
right
see
now-
why, though. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
This is gorgeous.
It is.
Kind of reminds me of ice.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what I was looking at. And that's why. But this one has a lot of texture.
And tell me, this also has that unique framing. Here, I'm going to switch.
My framing comes from Foxley's gallery, and he's pretty talented. And when I brought this into him, I said, this is what I want, and he went, but that doesn't work. It's sticking out. You don't frame like that. And I went, yes, I do.
I'm glad you did. I think it just adds, it's that one extra, it is very cool in person how that is almost like that 3D.
And gives you a little more depth and interest. So, yes. Yeah.
It is, I do. I think that the framing actually enhances the piece itself.
Yes, I thought so too. So that's how that ended up.
Yes, and I can see, what does it feel like when you hear that there's a bidding war over one of your pieces?
Oh, and especially for Trim Hunger, I think that's just awesome. I'm very excited about that.
What I guess, what are you feeling tonight when you're seeing all of these pieces and hearing about people's interest in them?
Well, at first, you think, oh, is anybody going to want to bid on these things? It brings me joy. Does it bring someone else? Do they like it? So then when it was all hung at the marketplace, I went, wow, this is pretty cool. Well, why not? And so it really is exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's good. I'm glad to hear that there is this bidding war on this bad boy.
Yes.
And what's the
Yes,
name of it
there
again?
is.
I remember you told me it reminded you of ice, but what was the name of it again?
Silence.
Winter Silence. Winter Silence.
I like Winter Silence. What I want to say to you, any of you out there right now that are having a problem commenting, what I want to do is just have you jot down 920-809-0131, and you can text that question that you may have through that number if you're having a challenge, getting that comment or that question that you have answered. We're doing amazing. We have a half an hour left. Just so you remember, the bidding is open till 10. I've got a lot of questions here about the orb. And you know, the orb will be on display at the marketplace. And if you feel that this is something that you would truly love, I'm going to offer myself as commissioning the inner part of the orb to whatever your liking is. If there's one that you really want there, I think Dean would be kind of cool with that. Wouldn't you be, Dean?
Someone wants to bid.
All right, I knew that. I felt that vibe. And hello to everyone at the King home. Hello to everyone in Kim's place. Thank you guys for being there. And yes, and yes. Yeah, the paintings are great. The paintings will be at the marketplace. You know, if any of you have any questions, just remember this. My first name spelling is Josif. And then add at trimhunger.com. So Joseph at trimhunger.com. Email me. We have about 30 minutes to go.
I know. I can't believe that.
I don't know if I should tell you this or not. Should I? The Gibson experience?
The Gibson experience is?
It just went to 2,000.
Woo!
So the Gibson experience just went to 2,000. And I want you all to know that. I am just getting in. I feel like you on the news.
Just getting in.
I'm just getting in. A special report. It snowed today.
We don't say that.
Lisa and Ben King would like to say that if anybody would like to top that, she'll offer 2 events at their house, 2 dinners at their house. So if anybody else wants to chime in at $2,000, you too will be with a party of...
Party of 6?
Party of 6.
Party of 6. So all you have to do, so she's doing it twice.
She's doing it
twice. So you match that 2,000. If another person can get to that 2,000 bid, well, that's $2,000 more to Trim Hunger.
Yep, exactly.
And that's 2 people that get to experience it. So do it.
Would you go with them? Would you and Nate go along with someone if they wanted you to have dinner with them there? If you were invited?
Nate, I think we're free.
All right.
Check our calendar. Yeah, we're free.
Up the bid to $2,000, and you also, if you want, get to bring Michelle and her amazing husband, Nate.
I'm thinking that if they're paying $2,000, they might have 6 of their own friends, but I'm game.
You're right. I guess it would be a party of 4 then, but then you'd be 2.
Right.
Okay.
All right, we've got to have Pat do her thing.
Yeah, Pat, this is another painting of yours that's getting a rave review. So Michelle,
awesome.
what do you think about this one? I love this one too.
Well, this
You little
one
stinker.
is done on oil paper, and therefore we have to put it on glass. But I did some mark making before, and I just put some values down, and I was looking for values. And there again, then I go and sit for a while, and I look at it, and, well, I see people. So then I sort of enhance the people a little bit, but I don't want to get it too realistic, because I'm not a realistic painter. I'm an abstract painter. And so that, and I think I did this for a demonstration. And then when I came home, I went, oh, I like it better this way. So then I just changed it. So that's what this one is all about.
Tell me what's going on with the lines here.
Well, I needed something more interesting. And so that's why I put the more lines in, and I needed more contrast because it wasn't speaking to me. And so when I put the lines in, I went, okay, now it's got some dialogue going on.
Yes.
And so now it's telling me a story, it's telling me something. Now it's shaping up.
Yes, that's the really an interesting part of it. That's why I was like, oh, what's going on there?
It's nice. I want to jump to this one because in a minute, Pat, we're going to show a little bit about how you mix this together and apply so everybody can kind of see this. Please remember, oh, you know what? Have you ever done like what you do and then made a mistake?
Everybody makes mistakes.
So then
Absolutely.
how do you get yourself out of that?
Talk.
because that's what I just did.
But is that a mistake?
No, the mistake was the actual is the marketplace. I got to look that up because there is a marketplace that's in Neenah. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I actually mean the Menasha Market.
Menasha Market.
Exactly.
That's where you can see all these pieces.
So please, you guys.
Menasha Market.
Can we rewind this? All right.
Menasha Market.
Menasha Market. Menasha Market. And Menasha Market. So at the Menasha...
Where was that again?
Menasha Market.
Thank you.
Main
All right,
Street.
so this is one of the last ones that we're going to show.
Okay. And I don't know what you want. Oh, this was the reduction right here. And if you can, you're not supposed to touch paintings, but I put the reduction, what Joe was talking about before. He put it on with a little eyedropper, and then you have to wait. You have to have wet painting over dried, or it doesn't work. And so I put that on, and then you have to wait like a minute or so. And then with your squeegee, you scrape it off, and then this came. And I went, oh, there are my people again.
Yeah.
They always seem to come up. So that happened there. So then I just had to balance it. So then I put this in. And so I just keep
Crazy.
working until I get something that's visually pleasing to my eye.
I love it. I love it. And this one had a lot of attention at the gallery. A lot of people that were coming in the night that we had to meet the artist. This was where the eye was being drawn.
Right,
And
yes.
it's awesome.
But-
It looks like a monarch butterfly to me.
What's going on here? Tell me about that.
Well, when I didn't have this on, I went, well, this is kind of boring, but a lot of my paintings are not really like Joseph's are. Wow, out there. And even I taught him, I don't know how he got that, because I didn't teach that to him.
It's just something that's in you, buddy.
It's just in him.
Yeah,
and
well.
I'm more quiet. And so, but then I thought, well, no, this needs something else. And so I went, well, get bold. And so I did, and then I took a brush, and actually it was a comb, I think it was. And so then I went, all right, there now. And so then that really didn't work as well as I wanted it to, so then I have to step back again and look, and then I have to think about the design and the composition. And so then I put the black on, and then I went, okay, now it's...
And you know, she says she's a quiet painter, but this piece is bold and loud and not quiet at all. It's amazing.
Yeah, so that's how that one ended up. So it worked
Well,
itself
I'm
out.
going to have you start getting your little self warmed up. Michelle and I are going to revisit just a couple more pieces.
Oh yes, we have two more over
and
here.
this is kind of like our,
Does
you know,
these almost
this
look
is
like
kind
they
of
could,
like our
they
little-
could go together? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
all kind of the same
this too.
color
Yep.
concept.
And see, this is mine called On the Bench.
Okay.
And I saw a woman from the back that was kind of sitting in a garden, but this is mine as well on the board, right? See that? This one's 220. And this particular one, to me, reminded me again of flying. When you look
Aerial
down, you
view,
see
it's
the,
called.
Yeah, you see the airport strips, right?
Yeah, this one's
But
called Aerial View.
As you can see, for me, I'm attracted to color. So, you know, I really, really have a field day in color. I don't...
You have a lot of these like lime greens or bright
Yeah.
yellows that pop out
Yep.
and highlight.
Yes, I really, really do. And, you know, as we get ready to go see Pat, I just want to thank you so much. I
Oh,
know that you're
you've
very,
got
very
mine.
busy doing what you're doing, and you had to drive down here today, and I'm glad Nate
I
was
had a
with
good
you.
chauffeur. Thank
Yep.
you, Nate.
So thank you
Cheers
so
to you, honey.
much for actually coming and being a part of this. It
My
means a lot.
pleasure.
I'm serious. This means a lot.
My pleasure.
So
It's been fun.
now what's going to happen is this. For those of you that are interested in seeing how this is done, Pat is set up to actually show a little demonstration. This just makes me feel really good.
Get goosebumps?
This is going to make me want to just go
I
home
am
and start
super
painting.
excited to see
Yeah.
this.
So we're going to go over and we're going to watch her. And what you're going to see actually is a painting that we talked about this today. She's almost done with it. So
Let's check
she's
it out.
putting the very last line in this painting, and I'll stand in front. If you want to stand in back and ask her questions, possibly.
Or you can, well, we both can.
Well-
Oh, look at this.
So this is almost finished, and it has probably 30 layers on, some thick, some thin, some transparent, some translucent, some opaque. But now as I'm looking at it, there's something that I think isn't working here. And so what I want to do is put something right here that'll balance this whole thing. But I think this is where my focal point is. So I don't want to do anything real bold over there, because then it's going to fight with this. And then you're going to jump from there to there to there and not go around and find the story in the rest of the painting.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do right now. And it isn't going to take much.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how I mix the paint with this is just plain wax. And so, and I want this color, not quite that light, so I add more. Then I add my cold wax, and it's a 50-50 ratio, and mix that.
So you've got the wax is
This
the
is cold
white
wax.
and cold wax, and
this is paint. and
these are the paint colors.
Correct. This is what I'm using now. This gray that I'm using was not dark enough. This is too dark, because then it'll take away from up here. So I wanted something in between there, so I'm mixing in between.
Okay.
So now I just have this, and sometime I take my squeegee, but right now I think all I need is this one little mark, and hopefully this works.
All right, she's gonna, oh, look at that. Just straight across.
Well, I have so many lines going vertical, I need something horizontal, and then I'll just take my squeegee over here, because it's too busy, it needs to be, so then I can just soften it and pull it down, and then see right under here now I have something coming through. So I just work it until it pleases me. And so I think that's it.
And is that like for you, yeah, what do you feel like when you have like, okay, that's it, that's the last thing, now I feel good and I'm done and
It's like when Joe does your hair, you both look at it and go,
and we go, fabulous.
yeah,
She always uses that on me.
sort of like it
She
is.
does.
So, but, so now it's,
Turn it, there you go. Yep, we got
Turn it a little bit
there.
more into the camera.
Yeah,
Now.
talk to us about what, there you go.
so now I think it balances out, and this isn't too bold that it still takes away from the focal point. So I think now I can sign it, and it's finished.
And Pat, can I ask you, will this particular painting, if anybody's interested in taking it now, would it be at the Menasha Market for anyone to look at and possibly purchase for their
I
home?
can do that. I'll have to put the hanger on, and as you can see, there's blue tape along the side, because I like to leave it raw, the raw edges of the wood, and I'm a messy painter, so it's always full of paint. So I leave this on until it's finished. I put the hanger on, then I'll take that off, and that'll enhance the painting also. Nice. So if they are interested, we could do that.
And while you're there with Pat, one of the other and last experiences for Art for Hunger is a
yes.
paint class at
Wow.
the Menasha Market.
At the Menasha Market.
So
in the
at the
back room.
Menasha Market, yep.
In the back room,
and
so
it's
we're
for
social distancing.
social distancing.
Exactly.
And it actually is going to be, you'll get everything that you need. Tell them what they'll actually come and have. I want to say
If
it's
they're
going to be like,
interested,
what's
it's
that palette where you go and you have a glass of wine and you paint?
A paint and palette? Oh, dear. Oh, come on, Joseph.
No. Like that, but like a virgin palette. Where
Well,
you will
no.
just, yeah.
So, but it's $500, and there will be 6 in the class. And we'll have everything supplied. We'll have a board, we'll have the paint, we'll have everything, and I'll show you all the tricks of the trade so that you can have a fun time and possibly go home with a painting.
Oh, and fantastic.
And everything will be supplied, so you don't have to go buy anything. So, yeah, so it should be a fun time, and Joe will be there.
See, those are nice experiences when you just show up and you've got all of the supplies, you've got the teacher, you've got the encourager, you've got somebody that's going to help you and take your hand and help you make something that you're going to be, excited to share and talk about.
I could do this, yes, and I don't have to run all over looking for supplies, and did I get the right thing? I don't know. So all the supplies will be included.
And even when you start something like that, sometimes you get into a bind that you're like, or I'm in a jam, how do I get out of this? And you'd be able to help.
We'll help you get through that, yes.
Awesome. Well, guess
Totally.
what? I don't know if this is sad or happy, but we're down to like the last 10 minutes of this Art for Hunger auction.
Oh my, well, it's been fantastic.
Yep.
It's been fantastic.
It really, really has been. So I would like to just make sure that all of you know that have been participating tonight, that keep this in mind. I'll say it again. The Menasha Market is where all of this activity is going to take place.
And that's on Main Street.
Yes, and with the scarves. Any of you interested in the scarves that you saw, you need to call the Menasha Market, ask for Kim, have her put, I think I got a dozen each, but they were actually being purchased a week before this whole thing, right?
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
But we can get them in, what, a week? I think?
Yes. And
So we
Kim,
need
just
more?
call and ask for Kim. She's amazing. She'll write your name down. She'll take notes. She'll get it to us, and we can get the order in. I want you to also remember that the bid tonight stays open till 10. So the auction will be live. Even after we're off live, you can still bid up to 10 o'clock.
Right.
You will be notified tomorrow on who got what, where, when, and all that stuff. So you can still donate online when we're off, or remember the number I gave you, please, which is 920-809-0131, or, you can text in a bid, however you want to go ahead and do it. But I think that this was just the most awesome thing ever.
That color right there.
I got a comment, just for those of you that are out there. They were interested if I would auction off my jacket.
Oh, Joseph, hello. Absolutely.
So do you think I should?
God, yes. Oh, you wore it to your daughter's wedding? Well, okay.
yeah,
I was going to say absolutely, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I
okay,
think,
maybe
yeah.
not.
It's not something Pat or I painted, but it is one of my favorite jackets, and it was definitely artsy.
Well, it
fartsy.
depends. How much are you going to bid for it? Before we say no.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt.
What's your price?
I doubt that I'm going to.
I'm joking.
I'm getting a lot of yeses.
I'm joking. Yeses
All right,
for
you know
what?
what? Come on then. If you are interested in this jacket, it's got to start at least 4, because I paid 3. Don't, oh my God, my wife's listening.
Oh, Joy,
Oh
he meant
God,
$3.
didn't cause that to happen. It's
See,
not
Nate,
something.
I'm not bad. Listen to him.
You guys are crazy, but I would, I guess. Oh, 5K. Easy what you're saying. I got a 5K here.
Oh, and I said, well,
Look at. Oh, sure.
5K
All right.
starting bid. That's the starting
Sure.
bids. No,
Well, you know what? If that's the case, you get my jacket for 5K, and you get
I mean, if you could just
you
buy
get
another one.
a haircut for a year is what I throw in
Oh my gosh,
at a $1,200 value.
Love it.
See, so then it would
Boom.
be back down to 4. Enough about me. I want you
Well,
to
this
know
is about the jacket.
that
It's
if you're
really
not
about you.
on Facebook Trim Hunger, please like it. You're going to see a lot of post activity. And I want you to know that we are local, and yet we are not, because it really is spread out through a family of friends in my hair world all over this country. And it's a great thing. It's a really, really, really great thing. All the sponsors that have been a part of Trim Hunger were shown before, and you will all be on Facebook tomorrow, and I thank all of you sponsors. I drive around town in a vehicle that Colosso has supported, and
I bet you get questions all the time about you drive up somewhere and people say, hey, either, hey, high five Trim Hunger, or what is Trim Hunger about? Tell me about it. I mean, it gets the recognition and it gets the questions going.
You know, Trim Hunger, I have an academy of hair, cosmetology, aesthetics, and I was really kind of down on the fact that parents would come in and down the trade, right? Should my daughter or son go to a trade? And I'm not downing it now, but this is how it started.
Right.
Because you could either go to college for 4 years and owe $100,000, or you could get a trade and earn it in a year.
Right.
Right? So I got all of my students together, and we had a cut-a-thon that Fox 11 supported.
Yeah.
And we raised probably like $8,000 for the community. And that was to show the
Amazing.
community that we are strong together. Stylists unite. So that was where Trim Hunger started. And I've been very, very, very proud of it.
And look to what it's grown to. Like, you know, I mean, it truly is amazing. And there's so much good that's going on through this program. There's so much more work to do. Yes, there always will be. But it has been a fun ride. It's been fun to listen to Joseph and Joy talk about it, because it truly is one of those things
Yes.
that are so
It
near and
is.
dear to their heart. They're genuinely concerned, and they genuinely want to do something about it.
Yeah, and like I said in the very beginning, Joy and I would get in that vehicle and drive to homes and actually deliver gift cards for groceries. And it felt amazing. It felt like we were in this powerful vehicle where we could really help. And, you know, all the money that we've raised this evening is truly going into local food pantries. I've talked to them. I want to deliver the food. I want to ask them what it is that they want. Do you want money? Do you want groceries, right?
Well, and with the way the world is, with COVID, there's so many more people that are having to visit those food pantries for the first time. I think it was like 40% I read of in the last year, people going to food pantries, and it's the first time that they've ever been there. So it's certainly, there's always the need that's out there, but especially with the pandemic, especially with what's been happening in the last year, there's more people that have been using those food pantries, and it's the first time that they've ever had to.
Yes, I had a request.
You had a request for
Yep.
what?
To show just a couple real quick of the big paintings that we have.
Okay.
And here's Stardust.
Here's Stardust.
This is
it's
one of the
beautiful.
biggest.
Oh, I love it.
And
Which other one?
Yep.
Mood?
Mood.
Mood is the Floridian one.
And then, of course, I'm going to
Gosh.
stop here because we have Trim Hunger. Can I get any notification, please, from any of you out there, especially at the Menasha Market, if you're at all interested? Bill. No, I'm kidding. Bill. Just kidding. But if there's anyone interested on this particular painting here, which I think would look really strong in an office, it can't be around a lot of busyness. It has to be in something that is
It's
real
its
powerful.
It's its own.
Yep, really powerful. So let's get some activity on this, please, as we're closing, because I've got some peeps that are watching the bids come in. So I want to get communicated with Philip, if he's out there, and let me know if you see the bids going up. Mood, we've got approximately 5 minutes, Michelle, left. And I want to make sure that you get to actually say some of the closing before you actually split.
We're good. I'm like just admiring the overall splendor here of Stardust, of Mood, of all of these up here. Their journey. They are incredible experiences. They are just incredible to look at, and they are just each unique, incredible pieces.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And you know, I could not auction myself off tomorrow for Valentine's Day because I'm going to be spending it with Joy.
Well,
But thank you
now
very
wait,
much
what
for
did they want to
asking.
bid? What did they want to bid?
I don't know.
I mean, let's find out what they want to bid before you, maybe, well, I
don't
can't say
know.
that. I better not. Joy, I apologize.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
Just bid on the
Yeah,
art. Forget about
really,
Joseph.
Yep, just bid. Remember, bidding's open till 10. You'd bid on it the same way that you're doing it now. So if you're a little shy, because Michelle and I are in your living rooms with you,
Come
you
on,
can
just
still,
bid.
Yep, you can still bid right after this is done. So here we have, you know what they
Journey.
are. If you, yep. Journey.
We'll go from left to right.
Searching.
Stardust.
Mood. And
Sheer madness.
Sheer madness. And remember, if you're interested in the orb that you saw that Dean did with myself, you go to Menasha Market and start up a talk with Kim, and she'll make sure to set you up. I really, really, really want to give another shout out to my friend Steve York, who actually really has allowed this to happen. He is greatly involved with the Menasha Market, and I really, really, really can't thank him enough for having the belief in just the fact of knowing that, you know, this Art for Hunger was going to help the community. So with a couple of minutes left, is there anything that you would like to say before you leave?
I would just like to say thank you for having this vision, for putting this together, for getting all these incredible people from all walks of life to get together to do this event, and I'm humbled to be included, just because we are doing something that is so needed and sometimes so forgotten, and it is a good thing. It makes your heart warm on Valentine's Day weekend. You know, it's something that's great to do, so I am very happy to be here and happy to be a small part of it.
I love that. And remember, the Gibson Grill experience was at 2,000.
Yep, 2,000.
And it may look like another,
Yes.
yeah, 1,300 came in. I'm not sure, but
Come on.
I know, because I'm trying to do two things. But
Where they can pick up their paintings?
yes, yep.
Paintings can be picked up next week, by the way.
Yep, at the Menasha Market. But you're going to be notified. You're going to be notified. Your credit card will not be charged till you are completely notified. You're going to be receiving some information, either email or by Philip. And I personally can't thank you all for being a part of this. It's amazing. And we put a lot of work into this, and the Committee for Trim Hunger. I don't want to mention everybody because it's hard. I'll forget names. But this
Just say everybody.
And the production crew and the facility and everything. And I want to hear comments back on Facebook. Was this great? Was this not great? Would you like us to come back? Would you like us to do this again? Because I'm going to tell you something. Trim Hunger always has an event once a year. We had Little Chef. We had the concert at the chapel last year. We have Art for Hunger. So we're always trying to get everyone's little genre of where we can kind of come into your hearts and homes. So on that note, I want to say thank you very much for having us. Distant hug. And guess what?
What?
I really feel that, again, thank you for all that you have done, because I've been a part of Fox 11 for a long time. And you're like my family, all of you. So for you to be doing this is great, because Rachel helps, you help,
You're so
Emily
welcome.
helps, all of you, Mark. So thanks.
You're
I
so
appreciate
welcome.
that. And on that note, Jess, what do you think? Go bid.
Bye.
See you later.
Thanks for being here.
Alligator. Bye.